Anyway, so external affairs. They're supposed to be in this room, right?
Yes.
So SEDS right now has partnerships, formally signed MOUs with the American Astronautical Association.
What does MOU stand for?
One sec. So an MOU stands for a Memorandum of Understanding. Basically, it's like a contract, except it's non-binding. It's basically saying, well, with SEDS, the way we use it is saying this is the relationship between our organizations. These are the things these are the benefits SEDS is going to provide these organizations. These are the benefits this organization will provide us. And we're not committed to some percent that if you have financial trouble, etc., we aren't going to sue you. So, sure, you come in here and take notes now when the room's empty. The room was full for the last session.
All the people are coming now.
Oh, for external affairs?
So I guess we're going to
Yeah. Wait, do you guys think there'll be more coming from?
Yeah, there's a few. We just got out.
Okay, so we'll wait a few minutes. And this is the last session, so this one can go on as long as you want. We have the building until tomorrow morning's class.
Is there a way that we can discuss that coming in Philly instead of the movie class?
Some proposed things to discuss.
Okay.
Give it a few more minutes. In the meantime, while we wait to see if we have any more Speak of the Devil stragglers. Anyone have any questions for me, just in general? Doesn't even necessarily need to be about external affairs per se, or conference chair is poking his head in here, make sure we haven't burned down the building yet. How you guys enjoying the conference so far? For how many of you is this your first space meeting?
It's very organized. Like, I'm very happy.
For how many of you is this your first space conference? Wow, cool. Glad we could be your first. You'll always remember your first. Hopefully we'll get a few more stragglers in here. But to answer the question, SEDS currently has MOUs, Memorandums of Understanding, with 3 organizations: the American Astronautical Society, National Space Society, and Space Frontier Foundation. These are mutual partnerships between our 2 organizations that provide benefits for both, whether it's website exchange, whether it's monetary awards, whether it's funding. And this is written up in formal one-page documents that state this is the relationship to organization. For example, with the AAS, we have a link exchange between our websites, and they offer a scholarship to the International Space University, which has heavy preference for SEDS members. In the past 3 years, we've actually had a number of people apply and start SEDS chapters specifically to get that scholarship eventually. So it's with the National Space Society, we have the relationship with them where they give us a free booth at their conference for organization. We give them a free booth for their organization at our conference. They also help fund our hospitality suite. We fund one at their conference. And some things along those lines. We also have the graduation prize with National Space Society. Anyone that graduates from SEDS chapter gets a free 1-year membership in the National Space Society as a graduation gift from the National Space Society. And with Space Frontier Foundation, similar to NSS, where we get a free booth at their conference, they get a free 1 year, host a hospitality suite, and we all love each other. So currently we have 2 more of these MOUs in progress with the Society of Satellite Professionals International and the Explore Mars group. The Society of Satellite Professionals International is a group that basically works on satellite payloads, whereas a lot of people concern themselves with the rocket itself. They're an actual organization that's mainly concerned with what you put on top of the rocket. They're proposing to SEDS that while they don't have conferences that they're willing to give us free discounts at, they would like to host competitions and projects within SEDS where, for example, the SEDS chapter project of the year would actually have a $500 prize along with it for this specific chapter. And they would also like to promote SEDS to their membership and anytime they get students that are very interested in SSPI, they would send them to SEDS, and then when they get out of SEDS, those students then consider going back to SSPI once they're professionals. And then the Explore Mars Group, they are a new organization that was recently formed to host competitions for students and young professionals related to Martian research. Basically, they're an organization that's tired that we don't actually do any of the research to go to Mars. We complain that we can't go to Mars because we don't have certain research done, but NASA is actually banned by Congress right now to fund any of that research. So Explore Mars is an independent organization that wants to offer monetary prizes to students to start to work on these issues, things like life support systems and the habitat, in situ resource utilization on Mars, things along those lines. They have a nifty little website. They are about 2 months old, that organization, but they have a Mars Education Challenge, and a whole bunch of different initiatives and projects. Yeah, right now they have the Mars Education Challenge, the In Situ Resource Utilization Challenge, and Mars Agriculture Workshop. And as you can see, before we've even finished signing an MOU with them, they have put our logo prominently on their website. So they're very excited to be working with SEDS. The main thing they want from us, actually, is for us to let our students and chapters know about their competitions. And they're willing to do things like promote us to all the students that participate in their competitions. They also have some prizes they'd potentially like to offer exclusively to SEDS chapters, and things along those lines. And then we have proposed MOUs with the Women in Aerospace, the Moon Society, and the International Space University. So at this point, the idea behind this session in general was to discuss the MOUs and agreements we have currently, and how else SEDS might want to reach out there. Are there any other organizations we should be partnering with that we can actually get benefits from? Should we continue along the current MOU model? Or is there some other model we should use? Should we start thinking about a different model for SEDS agreements? So at this time, I guess I'll open it up to any questions you guys may have, comments, suggestions.
This is just one, related comment, but like, actually right now, Explore Mars is doing a panel at MIT, which like, I worked with them over the past month to like set up the stuff and all that, but yeah, so we're really excited to be working with SEDS because they contacted us first.
Yeah. They're really enthusiastic bunch. Basically, are we on the record, Rick? Yeah. Okay, I won't see the comments. Well, I trust you to edit out the comment I was about to make. But yeah, they're basically a very enthusiastic group that really want to make progress fast. So it's a group to be working with. So any other questions on the stuff I've gone over so far?
I have a question. So were you talking about how we were already kind of partnered with ISU? Or
Yes.
is
So
that something different?
ISU was formed by the same guys that founded SEDS way back when. And for a long time, we've had an informal relationship with them where they host these prizes with SEDS. We promote ISU to our membership. Some of our members go to ISU, like me. We have a link for them on our website already, and we recently been talking about actually formalizing this in an MOU so that when a future chair comes into SEDS, I can say, hey, this is our relationship with ISU. So, yeah, we're looking at, basically we already have a pre-existing relationship with ISU. We just want to formalize that and get it in. Questions? Comments? Suggested other organizations you might want to partner with? Suggestions on how we might think additional things we might want to get out of the organizations we're currently partnered with? One thing to remember is that if we want something else out of them, we also should be willing to offer them something. Especially with these MOUs, we want it to be a two-way street. Not only do we want to get something out of them, but we want to make sure that they feel they're getting something out of their partnership with SEDS. SEDS as an organization, we are a funneling organization. That's what the National Space Society, Space Frontier Foundation, ISU, Explore Mars, etc. see us as. They see us as the place that they send any students that come to them who are interested in space. Students then get involved with SEDS, and during their time in SEDS, they're both developed into a strong leader, they hear how awesome these other organizations are, and then when they graduate SEDS, they go on to one of these organizations. To give you an example, the Space Frontier Foundation, when they first came to us about 4 years ago, their conference wasn't that great. They partnered with SEDS, they got a lot of SEDS members involved, and now SEDS members are basically running their conference for them, and SEDS members and alumni. So it's, for all these organizations, it's really a recruitment tool of, hey, look how awesome our organization is. Let's help you while you're a student, and then you'll help us when you're older. And also lower our average age, because some of these organizations, they were getting quite old. So, with
I
that,
was going to say the Planetary Society, I know they're going to put up like a solar sail satellite soon, so that might be another good one, considering that in the first workshop here, we were talking about competitions and sets of programs, and one of them was a solar sail cube satellite. So
we have tried to partner with the Planetary Society several times, even to the point of we were at the Presidential Space Summit and with Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and the rest, and I was trying to talk to them about it, and Planetary Society is one of those organizations, they basically want to have members that send them money so that they can do something with this money. We've tried to get them involved, but I think we're a little bit below their radar. It's definitely something that might be pursued in the future. If we can find something that we can provide, I think there are lots of benefits they can provide us, but I think we need to figure out a way of proving our worth to them. Because, yeah, like I was chatting there with Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson at the Presidential Space Center about this, and they were like, oh, yeah, we should do something with SEDS, but there just really wasn't a hook at that time. Because they don't see that need to actually outreach to students at present. So.
yeah, I know.
Those guys as individuals are pretty invisible to students.
Yeah, who here has not heard of Bill Nye? See, they have their outreach to students.
The science guy?
Yes. Check my Facebook profile on this. So, other comments, suggestions, feedback? Are you guys just all really tired after the first day of conference? You just want to hit bars. Questions, comments, feedback, suggestions? You want to talk maybe about some of the things the Moon Society was interested in potentially doing with SEDS, some of the things we maybe talk about in the project session?
Yeah, one of the things, the Moon Society is a small society. We have members that are often intermingled with the National Space Society chapters. So our chapters do educational outreach. Of course, our focus is the moon. And one of the things we wanted to do is to try and challenge the people to do more active things. And so we thought, well, hey, maybe SEDS would be interested in some competitions that we could start. So we are partnering now with the National Space Society and a group called Open Luna. And Open Luna is kind of the same thing as Explore Mars. They want to actually get there fast, and they're impatient, and so are we. So we thought maybe the best thing we could do is to offer some technology demonstrations as competitions that would actually move us forward. And one of them would be the idea of exploring lava tubes. There are lava tubes on the moon, and there are lava tubes on Mars. We now have good high-resolution pictures of the skylights where the section of the tube is collapsed. And so these are places that are sheltered from radiation that potentially, there's no practical way we could possibly excavate, take that much machinery to the moon or to Mars. So these are places that possibly could be places for human habitation. They're interesting in and of themselves to do primary science, looking at the geology. Maybe they collect volatiles. They're a window into the lunar past, the geological past, going back over 3 billion years. So the idea of getting in there is not easy. It's tough. How do you communicate and characterize those tubes? That's one competition that we're developing. A second one is the idea of taking a CubeSat. A lot of university students are involved in CubeSat projects, and then see if we could also get them to engineer a solar sail and take that satellite up out of low Earth orbit and around the moon and demonstrate that you can have a stable lunar orbit using a solar sail, and also navigate around cislunar space. So maybe explore the L4, L5 regions. We think there may be certainly dust, maybe other larger objects there. That also might demonstrate a communication capability that would reach behind the far side. So if you're going to put a lander on the far side, There could be a practical communication relay there. If you can show that you can build a small, cheap satellite without using fuel, except to get it, get away special to low Earth orbit, that might also be the way that you could design a lunar GPS system. So, the lunar orbits are not very stable. You have mass cons, and it takes a lot of fuel to maintain an orbit. So a solar sail might be just the ticket to do something like that. And so these could be real practical kinds of things. And part of our competition also is not only the design of this, but also a business plan. So I know you also have a business plan. There's competition that's offered there. But it's not only just the idea to do it, but there are practical, scientific, as well as commercial opportunities that could come out of that. So those are a couple of practical demonstration projects that could, if NASA found this intriguing and they see a lot of people who are excited and want to do this, they might make a centennial prize out of it. If they like the centennial prize and there's momentum, they might say, well, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should have some NASA missions. The Europeans have funded a European student moon orbiter, and that will be launched in 2014. So we're also interested in saying, well, why shouldn't NASA, do what the European Space Agency has done? This could be done by JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency. It could be done by ISRO. We have Moon Society chapters in India, and in India, the Moon Society is also collaborating with SEDS. There's an All India SEDS conference, which is a pretty big deal. It's growing rapidly. So this is the third year we will be sponsoring a lunar rover competition, design competition at the SEDS All India Conference. And we're already an affiliate of the National Space Society. So we would like to foster a relationship where NSS, the Moon Society, and SEDS can look at incubating ideas. We don't have much money, but we've got creativity. And maybe if we're doing creative things, the X Prize Foundation can find some of their, Google sponsors to pick up some of these, or NASA, or some of the other international space agencies. So we want that international collaboration. We want that communication. So that's what we bring. We have a newsletter called the Moon Miners Manifesto that we put out, and one of the things that we could offer you is, if you're a SEDS member and are working with us, we could give you our electronic newsletter at no charge. We also, with SEDS India, there's not a lot of money there, so we have a special, we're in our second year of publication for the Moon Miners Manifesto India Quarterly. And of course, our focus there is on what is the Indian Space Research Organization doing, what's happening in Southeast Asia. So, we're trying to look and shape things, as well as internationally. So we're trying to reach out in that way. And we have a strong, there's already an agreement between SEDS India and the Moon Society in India as far as the sponsorship of contests, and we've had speakers and look at that. So, we're trying to build bridges and trying to, not everybody's interested in the moon. Some people are interested in Mars more than the moon, but, we certainly want to be part of the family of space advocacy, and we want to create interesting ideas and projects. So that's what we could, as an affiliate, that's what we're about, and what we're doing in India, and we would like to actually, we kind of started there first. We'd like to maybe formalize that if that's attractive to the SEDS Society here.
You guys have any feedback on what you guys just heard from the Moon Society? Any other comments or questions or suggestions about other external affairs? About?
I would just like to point out that I learned today that there is actually a CubeSat solar sail project right here at the University of Illinois.
And Alex has said, hey, we'd really like to be involved with that. So
Just
he
making
kind of our
sure
first
that's on
volunteer.
tape.
Yeah. So that we actually have a first SEDS response to our competition with Alex. And we hope that there's some more, because it's good to have somebody to compete against. You don't want to beat those bastards, So that helps. So we certainly, anybody who's not from the University of Illinois, why not give them a challenge and be the second team, so at least we can get things started.
Helps with funding too, when you sit and say you're competing against 8 other universities. Don't you want our university to show up top? As opposed to, oh yeah, we're just competing with ourselves. It doesn't help with funding.
Well, it's not too bad. We've only been talking here for 1 day, so we already have one team. So think about it. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be around here. Sign up.
Any questions, comments, feedback? Sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic as one of the past 2 sessions. Slowly winding down. Rick, as the person that's running unopposed for chair currently, anything you want to say about external affairs, your current plans, and what you think where it needs to go? Like you're as tired as me right now.
I'm kind of excited as you. Yeah, I don't know. I follow what you're doing. I didn't hear the first bit of what you're talking about, but I get the.
Basically, I just outlined what's on the board right there.
Yeah. Is I'm thinking there. Wasn't there? What was the organization that we instructed you to talk to?
So what's our
That one that we were telling you should talk to. I forget who it was.
in the last session? Oh, Space Generation.
That'd be a good people to talk to. I'm all about that. But no, but from the political stuff. So who did we say to talk to?
Space Exploration Alliance, or
Yeah.
Coalition for Space Exploration, or one of those four-letter acronyms of.
Yeah, just let them do. I don't know what we can offer them. That's a little bit.
I believe it's Coalition of Space
Yeah.
Exploration. There's one of them that we're already in. Together. Which one? Questions, comments, suggestions, or you just guys want to get out of here? I see a lot of tired faces in here right now. Well, we're always looking for new and interesting partnerships to make with SEDS, because the entire reason the national organization exists is to provide benefits to the chapters. That is 100% the reason they exist. And so whether that is partnering with any of these organizations to get like free Nova magazines in PDF format for all the SEDS members, getting scholarships established at International Space University with SEDS preferences, anything along those lines, that is the purpose of SEDS National. We're there to provide benefits for you. Basically, we're the pirate flag of SEDS. The pirate flag of space. You guys have your little pirate ship out there and you fly the SEDS flag, so you all have one rallying cry. You get to go and port to Tortuga every year at Space Station and get all your benefits booty. So, all right, well, if there are no feedback, questions, suggestions, comments, I think I'll let you guys go and either hit the bars or hit the head. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.